What very important day is coming up in Sikhi? Who knows? Bandi Chor Divas. Very good. Good job, whoever said that. And aakinu pata ki Bandi Chor Divas ki hondiya. What is Bandi Chor Divas? Somebody knows? Okay, good. Well, don't spoil it because we have a really cool presentation that Uncle G, my dad, who's been doing the presentations about Mool Mantar and Guru Ramdas Ji, and today he's going to explain Bandi Chor Divas. So let's all listen, no talking, and let's get started.
Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. Thank you very much, Bandna, for that kind introduction. Let's get started with our Fateh. Gurudev Fateh Sanj kariye. Vaheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji ki Fateh. So today we are going to be talking about Bandi Chor Divas. Now, which Guruji is connected with Bandi Chor Divas?
Guru Gobind Singh Ji? No.
That's not correct. Negative 10.
Guru Ramdas Ji?
Wrong. Wrong. We'll go through all 9 Gurus. Very good.
What was this?
Guru Har Gobind Ji. Thank you very much for that right answer. You get plus 10. We talked about Guru Ramdas Ji last time. Today we will be talking about a Guru whose grandfather, father, son and grandson all were Gurus. And that is Guru Har Gobind Ji. His father was Guru Arjan Dev Ji. His grandfather was Guru Ramdas Ji. His son was Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. And his grandson was Guru Gobind Singh Ji. That's a very unique place to be in the history of our Sikhs. Guru Har Gobind Ji got to the Guruship position at a very young age of around 11, 12. And he led us at a time. Let's try to picture what time it must have been. His father was tortured and assassinated by the government in Lahore. And he ascends to Guruship. And the government of the land is against our entire community. Because the government is doing unjustified things. And guess what? We as Sikhs, we are going to look at 6 different aspects what we stand for, which the Gurus taught to us by example, asking us to lead a life like that. We will cover that today. We will talk specifically about Bandi Chor Divas, how Guru lived his life in the process of Bandi Chor. Bandi Chor literally means getting liberated from prison, getting freed from prison. And how the same day is celebrated by other religions, because some of the other religions have been around for 5,000 years, 10,000 years, and our Bandi Chor Divas started only about 400 years ago. So we are not celebrating other religions, we are celebrating Bandi Chor Divas, but we have to acknowledge that on the same day, other religions are also celebrating something, and we need to be knowledgeable about it. It doesn't mean that we are celebrating it, but we need to know what others are doing around us. So let's get started with it. What did Guru stand for?
Justice.
That is one, we will come to that. First volunteer. The Guru stood for one God, Ek Onkar. So 2 volunteers can come here. The Guru stood for compassion. On compassion, I'm going to read a line, and Guru says here, मैं आए मिलो जगजीवन प्यारे, हर हर नाम दया तारे. that when I'm reciting Vaiguruji's name, and we talked about Naam about 3 sessions ago, didn't we? That Naam is very important. Some people are enjoying the word Naam and having a laughter about it. Good for you. So, Daya, the compassion, and Japji talks about Daya also. Do you want to sit down? तौल तरम दया का पूत संतोख थाप रखया जिन सूत. Here all the qualities are being enunciated in just one line. The next thing that Guruji has taught us is equality. The equality relates to the social norms, the gender norms. At one time, in some societies, men were considered superior to women, and Guruji said, no, that is not true. Men and women are all equal. In some societies, there was a caste system, high caste, low caste. Guruji said, no, that's not right. We are all equal. अव्वल अल्लाह है, नूर उपाया, कुदरत के सब बंदे, एक नूर ते सब जग उपजया, कौन भले कौन मंदे. The God created all people and they are all equal. They were all made from the same clay. You remember we talked about that in the first session, that we have all come from the same source. Guruji taught us next was honesty. Honesty. Guruji taught us that we have to earn our living by honest means. घाल खाए किछ हथों देह नानक राह पछाणे से. Earn honest livings and share those livings. Share those livings, those earnings that you have by doing seva in terms of time, in terms of your resources. So serving all the humanity as one without discriminating against people. Now people before our gurus were teaching similar spiritual principles, but most of them would not raise a voice against the tyranny. Our Gurujis taught us that we have to fight for justice for all, not justice for ourselves. And that's what started with Guru Har Gobind Ji. He was our first Guru who took up the arms, and we will talk about that now. What he started was the 2 kirpans. You remember? Miri and Piri. What does Miri stand for? It stands for willpower. It may be close, but really it stands for worldly affairs. And Piri, it stands for spirituality. We don't run away from the worldly affairs to practice our spirituality. Remember the example we took of lotus, that's staying within the dirt but staying outside the dirt. So we stay within the world, we fight all the oppressions that might be happening, but we rise above it. Now, all of you can sit down. So these are the principles for which our gurus fought, which our gurus lived their lives. These are the principles they have asked us to live by. Guru Har Gobind Ji, in addition to the Miri and Piri, he started the Akal Takht right in front of Harmandir Sahib. Harmandir Sahib is the seat of spirituality. And Akal Takht is to take care of our worldly affairs. That's where we make decisions about the Sikh Panth as to how we are going to interact with others around us and with the governments of the land. So we have Harmandir Sahib on one side, and right in front of that is Akal Takht Sahib. So remember that in order to attain spirituality, we don't have to run away from the worldly affairs. We have to stay within this world, but attain spirituality while living here. Let's get to other accomplishments of Guru Har Gobind Ji. He started 2 cities, Kiratpur Sahib and Har Gobindpur. Now, which city did Guru Ramdas Ji start?
Who remembers?
Very good, thank you. And another accomplishment of Guru Har Gobind Ji was he supervised the making of an instrument which is known as taus today, which is peacock stringed instrument like peacock veena, or it's a stringed instrument that you can see on the screen. So Guru Har Gobind Ji is the one who supervised the making of taus instrument. Let's move on to the Bandi Chor Divas itself. And remember, this day doesn't fall always on the same day every year like the solar calendar, because it is linked with the lunar calendar. Solar means a calendar which is based on sun. Lunar means calendar that is based on moon. As you know, the movements of moon and sun are different. That's why the dates keep changing. Diwali is celebrated on the new moon day of the month of Katte, or in Hindi they call it Kartik. New moon day means Masya. So that day can keep changing from year to year, but as per lunar calendar, it's always on the Masya of Katak or Kartik. We as Sikhs celebrate it as Bandi Chor Divas. What happened really on that day? Around that time, or a little prior to Bandi Chor Divas first time, Guru Har Gobind Ji was wrongly imprisoned by the government of the land. And when Guruji talked to them that, hey, what you are doing is not right, the government realized their mistake and decided to release him. But when Guruji was in the Gwalior fort where he was imprisoned, where he was jailed, he saw another 52 kings or princes were also imprisoned there. Now, out of compassion, justice for all, and love for everybody, and seeing God, the same God in all, Guruji said, I'm not going alone. Guess what? You have to release all these 52 people. The government said, we are not going to release all of them. He said, I'm not leaving prison unless you release all of them. The government and Guruji's, the negotiations kept on going. And remember, Guruji is negotiating with a government that has killed his dad. Keep this in your mind. The government that has killed his dad, he is negotiating with the same government. So Guruji always kept his lines of communication open, in tune with Akal Takht, the Miri and Piri. He did not cross his fingers and said, oh, I will just sit down, I will not do anything, they killed my dad. He said, no, I'm going to deal with them. So he dealt with them even though he knew their hands are full of blood of his father. Now Guruji is seeing God in all. So government relents and says that whoever can hold on to your coattails will be released with you. So Guruji, what he did was, he created a chola something like this, and if I can have 6 or 7 volunteers come around and hold on to the tassels on that chola, they all held on to the tassels of Guruji's chola, and as many people as could hold the tassels, all those people were released. So Guruji specially made a chola with 52 tassels so that all 52 people who were imprisoned with him in the Gwalior fort, they were all released. So look at the level of justice for all, for our sixth Guru, the compassion for all, and seeing the one God in all that our Guruji has exhibited. He just didn't teach those things, he lived those things. And he taught us how to lead life, even though you may be at cross purposes with the government. Literally, all of you can sit down now. Literally, what does Guru mean? Guru means taking you from darkness to light. Guru, taking you from darkness to light. So when this kind of an event happened, it's a very important event in our history. How do we express our joy, our feelings for the Guru? How do we do that? How do we symbolically show in the society that we are extremely happy? What do people do when they want to celebrate Christmas? They light up the place. And guess what we do when we are celebrating our sixth master's Bandi Chor Divas, when out of compassion, justice and love for all, he is getting not only himself freed from the government prison, but getting another 52 people released from the prison. So what Guru does, he gets them out, and what people do to welcome him back is light up all the streets, and that's why we do light up these little candles. These are electronic candles, and so these candles are symbolic of the ignorance going out of our lives and the light of knowledge, wisdom coming into our life. Other religions, as I told you, we will touch on that, celebrate the same Katte di Masya, the new moon day of the lunar month of Kartik or Katte. Hindus celebrate it to mark the return of Lord Ram back into Ayodhya. They also mark it to celebrate the incarnation of Lakshmi. They also celebrate this day to mark Lord Krishna killing Narkasur, and they mark this day for the return of Pandava back to their village. Buddhist people, they celebrate the same day, Katte di Masya, but they celebrate it for a different reason. On this day, Ashoka the Great, he embraced Buddhism. Now this was around 300 or so BC, I think. Something like that. I may be wrong on the date, but long time ago, around 2000 some odd years ago. We started celebrating this about 400 years ago. And Jains celebrate the same day, Katte di Masya, the new moon day in Kartik, to celebrate the moksha or nirvana of Bhagwan Mahavir. We are all, the four religions are celebrating the same day, but for different reasons. And I believe we need to be knowledgeable as to why others are celebrating and why we are celebrating and why we are celebrating for different reasons and not for those reasons. With this speech, these words, I would like to conclude my speech today. So we covered today what way the Guru wants us to lead our life. We covered why we celebrate Bandi Chor Divas. We covered how other religions celebrate the same Divas, same day, but for different reasons. And if there is time for question, I can take one or two questions. If there are no questions, then there is a question.
Shan, go ahead.
You want to stand up and tell?
So,
So it's like all about like the cultures that, like different types of things that happen.
Okay, good question. You see, like in this country, this is a Christian-dominated country, so they celebrate Christmas to celebrate the birth of Jesus, who was a Jewish carpenter. Remember, when Jesus was born, he was not a Christian. He was a Jewish person who was a carpenter by trade. So he is known as Jesus, the Jewish carpenter. Every religion is born out of something else. In Sukhmani, there is a beautiful line, Jab aakar eh kichna drishteta, paap pun tab kehte hota. So in the initial stage, there are no religions. All religions get formed as people start to follow their spiritual masters. And with that, we will end today's conversation. Thank you very much. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.